Hello everyone! So this video involves language acquisition. One thing that's very interesting about how human learns a language is that we appear to all learn it in the same way using the same steps. So the first stage in first language acquisition is crying, but when the ages of 0 to 4 months, babies communicate through crying for us to know what they are feeling or what they need. Next is going. We begin to hear vowel sounds at about 2 months to 4 months, and by about 4 to 9 months of age, they have these consonant vowel combinations that we call bubbling. They sound like words, but they are not. At the age of 9 to 18 months, the first word utterances will be heard from the babies like mama, papa, cookies, and many more. And this will be followed by two-word utterances at 18 months to 2.5 years. And the telegraphic stage occurs between the ages of 2.5 to 4 years. Children will begin stringing more than 2 words together like no mommy, no go sleep. And for the acquisition of a second language, for instance, you told them to point their nose, and they did point their nose. And that is when you realize that, oh my god, he understands me. This is a relay in the pre-production stage, which lasts between 0 and 6 months. They just don't have the verbal output yet. At around 1 year of age is when the kids say their first words. I refer to this as the early production stage, where their verbal output will be in the form of single words. Next, they will start putting words together into sentences, and there will be grammatical errors, and that is okay. That is speech emergence in between 1 to 3 years old. And once they started to put a lot of sentences together, that is called intermediate fluency. And the last stage our English language learners will be in will be called advanced fluency and last around 5 to 7 years. And that sound like they were born and raised to speak that language.
Now, let's move in the similarities and differences of first and second language acquisition. First, the differences of each language acquisition. First, language acquisition, the way children acquire their native language. Number 1 characteristics of FLA is natural. We learn it at home and from our parents. Number 2 is informal. We use it at home, streets, and with friends. Number 3 is the subconscious. We do not know that we are learning the language. While in SLA is learning language after they acquire the first language or our native language. Number 1 characteristics of this is teacher input. Teachers help the learner learn and acquire language. Number 2 is formal. We use informal situations. Number 3 is the conscious. We are aware that we are learning. And the similarities of these two are errors. Number 1 is the errors. Making mistakes is a necessary component of learning in both processes. Number 2 is the stages. Stages, they have predetermined steps and particular frameworks that permit people to progress through the stages more slowly or fast, but they cannot skip any. Number 3 is the input. To learn a language, students require intelligible, consistent, and frequent input. Of course, in FLA and SLA have numerous similarities and distinctions. A brief explanation for the important ones. Although the methods of language learning in FLA and SLA are similar, several internal and environmental factors may result in variance.
And for the last part of this video tutorial, we have the possible hindrances in both first and second language acquisition. First is lack of interaction. Children learn languages through what they hear and see around them. Children who do not have positive peer relationship have cognitive and speech delays, as well as physical and mental health problems in adulthood. Numerous learning-enhancing opportunities, situations, and processes are deprived from the learners due to lack of participating in interaction. The second one is the use of grammatically incorrect sentences and words. Because children learn languages by imitating what they hear, there will be a disparity between the two languages' linguistic processes, and they will have difficulty pronouncing certain sounds correctly or at all. They make grammatical errors because they have been misled by their peers, who use words or phrases that look or sound similar in both the mother tongue and the target language, but have very different meanings.